Happy Valentine's Day, friends. It is the 14th of February, and wow, what a happy Valentine's Day for me already. Didn't do much, no cards, chocolates, candies, cookies, nothing like that. Just an empty house, and me and baby just hanging out, having breakfast. Really, now I'm down here, and she's up there, and we've sent each other a couple little love notes, but nothing spectacular, just real day-to-day loving each other. We were able to do something special for the one guy, and that felt really good, and I'm really grateful for everybody that came together to make that happen. Really, you all know who you are, and I'm super thankful that you all stepped up and made it happen. It's a pretty special thing. Anyways, moving on. Had some wonderful conversation with the Fan Jam last night, and they're all behind it 100%. Been talking about it since I started doing it, the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. I want to plow through this thing. I want to make that kind of one of the first projects I do here. And it looks like we're going to probably try and set something up for the end of the month. I messed around with the camera this morning, and I realized I can kind of get it back into a position. Plus, that adds the option for me to kind of take it mobile, which would, speak to heading out to my friends and doing some collab work with him. The whole system is actually pretty mobile for me, so it wouldn't be a big stretch to take this thing kind of on the road, as it were. Having said that, this is kind of the number one goal. So just making sure the tech is available and making sure that everybody upstairs is on board is a huge step for me. And I'm grateful for that. So hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be plowing into something brand new and different by the end of the month. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. But as I open up the book this morning, and I read this first page, it knocks me over, because let me read it to you. Let me read it to you. I know I've probably done too much of that already, but anyways, Introduction to the 12 and 12. Alcoholics Anonymous first published 12 Steps and 12 Traditions in 1953. Bill W., who, along with Dr. Bob S., founded Alcoholics Anonymous in 1935, wrote the book to share 18 years of collective experience within the fellowship on how AA members recover and how our society functions. In recent years, some members and friends of AA have asked if we would be wise to update the language, idioms, and historical references in the book to present a more contemporary image for the fellowship. However, because the book has helped so many alcoholics find recovery, there exists strong sentiment within the fellowship against any change to it. In fact, the 2002 General Service Conference discussed this issue, and it was unanimously recommended that, and it quotes here, the text in the book 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, written by Bill W., remain as is, recognizing the fellowship's feelings that Bill's writing be retained as originally published, end quote. We hope that the collective spiritual experience of the AA pioneers captured in these pages continues to help all alcoholics and friends of AA understand the principles of our program. It's such a powerful paragraph, collection of paragraphs, collection of words. It's such a powerful idea being captured in that moment in writing and in the written word. And as somebody who's been at this for a couple 24 hours now, if I can share with you what that feels like for me, and I can connect that right with the newcomer that I was all of those years ago. It's a bizarre dichotomy because we're expected to change, We're expected to embrace change. We're expected to head out into the world one day at a time, welcoming all of these changing things in our life. We used to deal with things one way. Now we have to deal with them sober. And for some of us, clean and sober. And yet, the rigidity of this program and how it's written and spelled out for us flies directly in the face of that change. You have this rigid set of ideals juxtaposed, if that's the correct word, against this direction to embrace change. And it's such a bizarre thing to wrap our head around. And yet, for me personally, the idea is rather simple in that this is how it's done. Period. Go ahead and do it. I needed that. I needed those men in my life that came along beside me, cracked on me, cracked the whip. This is how it's done. These are the words. Go do it. Because everything in me screams, yeah, but. What about? It's everything that's in our world right now. So it shouldn't be too hard for anybody to understand, but that's who I am. I am that person. Yeah, but, what about, yeah, but, what about? Always wanting to flip the script, always wanting to have a conversation and discuss, and doing everything in my power to avoid the actual work. And how many of us are guilty of that? How many of us just want to dodge, duck, hide, and jump back into that mud puddle and splash about in our misery on a day-to-day basis, eventually finding reasons to pick up the drink, to use again, to head back down that dark road toward whatever it is that gets us to the place we think is the answer, until we're right back at the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous again. Yeah, but, what about? The constant discussion and conversation and justification and reasons why that always bring us backward. So for that, I'm eternally grateful for the rigidity and the recognition by our founders and those that followed them to stick to the script, recognize the purity and the workability that existed in these ideas from day one, and offer no reason to change them. This is what it is. It works if we work it one day at a time. It's all it takes. It's mind-numbingly simple. It really is. It's our disease, it's our humanness, it's our brokenness that complicates the situation and complicates the work and complicates everything surrounding it, if for no other reason but to justify heading backward. I really don't know what this one was about today. I thought I did when I first came down here. I was super excited to just have that conversation with the kids and with Sarah last night and kind of discuss a bit of a plan going forward. It's something I've not really allowed myself to believe in much lately. The comic book business, as it were, kind of fell apart pretty quickly. I'm grateful that I was able to recoup most of that money and not recognize too great of a loss, financially speaking at least. It certainly helped us set the boys up to get some of their work done, which was wonderful. And I don't know that this becomes anything more than just me, blathering on into the ether, but it's wonderful to have something to look forward to. It certainly is, and I'm grateful for that. This idea just kind of crept up when I opened up the book and recognized this this bizarre dichotomy that kind of exists inside the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I don't know that it's, always talked about. Certainly, those of us that have explored those ideas have sat around tables and coffee shops well after the meeting is closed and kind of discussed this kind of stuff. That said, it's wonderful to know that long before I showed up, there were brilliant minds at work recognizing the need to leave things as is, and I think that carries forward. Obviously, the Alcoholics Anonymous program, its 12 steps, its traditions have been used and adopted and shared for generations now, and countless have been helped and countless families have been saved. So to that end, the purity of the original work is remarkable, and something I would strongly suggest anybody take some time to understand and to ponder. It does not take away, however, from the reality that the work needs to be done, and the wonderful world that awaits us it's beyond description, and I'm certainly enjoying it today. So with that, have a happy Valentine's Day to every one of you. I'm going to hit the stop button here, and hope that this makes some kind of sense, and look forward to tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye.